and today we're going to be talking about an action fantasy film called Attack on Titan Part 1. Be ready for some spoilers ahead. 100 years ago, giant humanoids called Titans appeared and began destroying humanity by devouring everyone they come close to. Humans built layers of walls in order to survive their attacks and managed to regain peace temporarily, but there's no guarantee that the walls can remain standing forever. One day, inside the outermost boundaries of the walls, Eren meets up with his friends Armin and Mikasa. He teases them while standing on top of an old missile, but only manages to make a fool out of himself instead. Eren expresses the unhappiness of being trapped inside the walls his whole life and wishes to know what lies beyond. He kicks the missile in frustration, only to reveal the painting of an ocean which amazes everyone. Mikasa imagines what that will look like in real life, as it must be extremely beautiful. Eren tells Mikasa that they can see it with their own eyes if they choose to. The group sneaks towards the bottom of the exterior wall and is shocked at how large it is up close. Eren plans to climb the structure, but the group tries to stop him as they're afraid of the consequences. Armin warns his friend that there are numerous Titans outside, but Eren doesn't think they exist anymore as no one has seen them for 100 years. Their argument is interrupted by the border patrol, who tries to remove them from the restricted area. Seeing his friends being arrested, Eren begins attacking the guards furiously, ignoring the consequences of being executed. Just when Eren is about to be shot, Zelda, a friend of the boy's father and the captain of the soldiers, breaks up the fight and promises to discipline the lawbreakers personally. When the soldiers have left, the man begins making fun of Eren's actions, but sympathizes with the boy's desire for freedom. He tells the group that they don't need to venture outside personally, as the military has recently decided to explore beyond the walls. Suddenly, they hear a loud explosion and the ground begins shaking violently like an earthquake. The wall begins crumbling as something from the outside is trying to break in. A colossal titan taller than the wall appears with smoke surrounding its body. The wall patrols look at the monster in fear as it screams continuously and begins kicking the walls. After many repeated attacks, the Titan manages to break open the wall and disappears into the smokes as if he completed his mission. The group begins noticing numerous Titans with terrifying faces entering into the city from the entrance. The monsters rush towards the people as the military tries their best to defend the city by firing cannonballs at the creatures. Their attacks only slow down the Titans temporarily, as the monsters seem to have exceptionally fast regeneration and begins moving towards the soldiers. The people scream in fear as the Titans begin grabbing everyone and devouring them in the process. The main character runs with his friends back to their homes while Armin checks on his parents. Everyone in the city panics, creating widespread chaos. The Titans quickly follow the people to the population center and begins destroying all the buildings while eating everyone like it's a buffet. Eren takes Mikasa to a church where everyone is trying to rush inside for shelter. The main character gets separated with the girl when Mikasa tries to save a baby on the floor. The crowd pushes Eren into the building as he struggles but fails to save his friend. The people inside locks the door in fear and refuses to let anyone else in. Eren watches hopelessly as a Titan with extraordinary teeth begins approaching Mikasa. She looks at the monster in terror, but soon accepts her fate as she lowers her head. Suddenly, a large explosion sends everyone cowering backwards, and Eren notices that the Titan disappeared along with his friend. He rushes outside as everyone locks the door immediately behind him. Eren gets up and is shocked that the city is completely destroyed. When he turns around, he sees numerous Titans surrounding the church. The monsters proceed to rip open the building like a cardboard box and begins eating everyone inside. Eren turns around and limps away hopelessly into the chaos. 2 years later, the military is planning to take over the outer districts that was breached from the attack. The people escaped into the middle walls for refuge, but also left the farms that were in the outer districts, causing significant shortage of food, which increased mortality and crime. They have to repair the walls and take over their land in order to save the people from hunger. Commander Kubel introduces their weapons expert, Captain Hinge, onto stage, and she shows the new grappling device which is supposed to help them kill the Titans, but instead, it seems to be more capable of killing her teammates. Aaron has joined the military alongside his friend Armin, who also survived the massacre from 2 years ago. They meet Captain Saldo, who was helping with handing out the food, and he seems to feel hopeless as he drowns himself in alcohol. Armin explains to his teammates that their mission is to blow up the upper portion of the wall so that it may collapse under and block the passage. The wall becomes lower in that section, but it remains taller than any normal Titans. The people can then exterminate all the monsters and take back their city. The soldiers prepare to leave at sunset as the Titans sleep at night just like normal humans. They're very alert to sound, so the scouts must keep quiet in order to survive. The giant door opens and the soldiers head outside in their armored vehicles. As they go further away from the second wall, their captain notices movements ahead and stops their cars. The soldiers exit the vehicle and begin scouting the area, only to find cattle ahead of them but nothing else. One of their teammates, Hyana, hears the crying of a baby inside the buildings and decides to investigate despite the unlikelihood of the scenario. She rushes off to help, but Aaron decides to follow and protect her, trying to amend for his failure at protecting Mikasa. They head deeper into the buildings, and Aaron begins hearing the cries as well. Suddenly, a lot of sticky liquids drop on the girl's face, and they both look up, only to see a baby Titan eating another human on the roof. The monster drops down and begins crying as the two runs away from the area. The noise alerts the group outside, and the captain tries to calm everyone down to avoid attracting the Titans. Before he can finish talking, the man gets killed by one of the Titans hiding behind the walls, and Aaron runs towards the team while being chased by a bunch of giants. The commander notices the danger and leaves the scouts behind as they drive away quickly. With no other choice, the remaining group runs towards the nearest building in order to escape the Titans, but they become surrounded as a massive giant appears in front of them. Just when they're about to get killed, Captain Shikishima from the recon team appears and strikes the Titan down by attacking the weak spot behind the neck. Another woman arrives and kills the Titan with ease as well. She lands beside the evaporating monster and turns around, only to reveal herself as Mikasa. She notices Aaron but pays him no attention as the captain arrives in front of her and smiles. The two launches towards the buildings as Aaron remains shot from the encounter. It turns out that Shikishima was guarding the explosives at the order of the commander, but wasn't told of the exact location in order to prevent any potential sabotage. Commander Kabul shows the captain the underground passage where they're hiding humanity's last hope for survival. One of the teammates, Jean, blames Aaron for attracting the Titans and nearly killing everyone. They begin to fight as everyone looks at them in frustration. Mikasa arrives and breaks up their fight, while the captain inquires about the main character's name. Surprisingly, Shikishima seems to know exactly where Aaron is from after learning his name, and decides to have a conversation with the boy in private. The captain wants to learn why Aaron hates the Titans so much, to which the boy replies that they're responsible for stealing humanity's freedom. Shikishima disagrees and blames humanity itself for the current predicament, as locking themselves inside walls have made them into cattle that don't know how to fight back. The captain suggests that Aaron is a cattle, to which the boy denies with anger. Shikishima smiles and encourages Aaron to let go of his fears and fight the Titans to reclaim his own freedom. Later that day, Aaron finds Mikasa in front of a broken piano and tells her that he's glad to see her alive. She doesn't share the same sentiment as the girl reveals that the baby she tried to save was eaten. Mikasa then shows Aaron a huge bite mark on her stomach and tells him that the world is cruel. Their conversation is interrupted by the captain, and they proceed to show their mutual affection in front of the main character. Realizing that Mikasa is no longer the same girl that he loved, Aaron goes outside and screams in anger. Hyana appears and stops the main character, trying to tell him to forget about the girl. She brings him to their shelter and tries to comfort him, while another couple is setting the mood by having some aggressive cuddling in the background. Kiana reveals that she's a single mother and joined the army to pay for her daughter. She wants Eren to join the family too and tries convincing him with her female assets. Their fun is cut short when the giant eyeball stares at them through the walls. The Titan breaks open the building and drags Kiana into his mouth as Eren hopelessly watches in fear. Numerous Titans begin approaching the buildings and the military evacuates immediately. The soldiers launch towards the Titans, trying to slow down their attacks. The captain destroys the Titans easily as he dodges all their attacks and strikes at their weakness. Mikasa tries her best to kill the Titans as well and saves her teammates at the same time. Many of the soldiers are killed as they lack experience fighting the giants, while the commander orders everyone to protect the explosives. The woman from earlier cries as her boyfriend died trying to save her. Captain Sauda drags her away from the dead body as she screams that she'll kill the Titan. Captain Hange notices that someone is trying to steal the truck carrying the explosives as it drives away from the battlefield. The woman with the dead boyfriend manages to get onto the truck and lights the explosives on fire. She jumps into the vehicle and fights the thief, eventually knocking him out. The woman drives the truck towards the Titan responsible for killing her boyfriend and slams the back towards the monster, causing a huge explosion that knocks the giant to the ground. However, the attack is futile as the Titans regenerate quickly and begins eating the people once again. Eren sees Jean hiding on the rooftop and tells him to fight like everyone else, but the man turns out to be a coward and admits that he's weak. Remembering about what the captain said to him earlier, Eren rushes towards the Titans with anger, trying to kill every last one of them. He has trouble controlling the graphers as he lacks experience from real combat. Shikishima sees Eren's bravery and begins guiding him to attack. The main character charges at the Titan and manages to kill one of them, but before he can celebrate, he flies right into the mouth of another. The monster bites off one of his legs and throws him onto the rooftop. The scouts notices that Jean is still trapped on the building and Armin devises a plan to save him. They begin making a lot of noises trying to attract the Titans away. This creates an opening for their teammate, and Jean charges towards the Titan and kills it with a single attack. The group tries to escape the area, but Armin is captured by another Titan who plans to devour him. Everyone tries to help by attacking the monster at the same time, but their strikes prove to be ineffective against him. Eren sees his friend in danger and crosses towards the Titan despite his injuries. The monster opens his mouth and proceeds to devour the boy in front of Eren, who stands up and refuses to let his friend die. Armin tries to climb out but continues to slide into the Titan's throat. In the last moment, Eren manages to grab onto his friend while holding the mouth open. He pulls Armin and throws him out while sliding into the mouth of the monster. The main character drops down into the stomach of the Titan and sees numerous dead bodies, including Kiana, who was killed right in front of his eyes. He grabs onto the girl's lifeless body and screams in agony, swearing that he'll kill every last one of the monsters. At the same time, the remaining survivors are surrounded while the captain and commander are nowhere in sight. Mikasa regroups with the team to help, only to find out that Eren has died. She looks at his remains in shock and tries her best to not feel any emotions. Mikasa decides to attack the Titans head-on in order to carve out an escape route for her teammates. She charges at the Titans and cuts them down one by one, but her gas quickly runs out as she crashes onto the ground. The giant that devoured Eren walks towards the girl, and Mikasa decides to fight until the very end. Strangely, the monster begins throwing up and screaming in pain. A hand crawls out of the Titan, and his body explodes into pieces, revealing a berserker Titan inside that's glowing red. The giant screams in anger and runs towards the Titans, attacking them furiously on their weak spots. The survivors watches in amazement as they never seen a Titan attack one of their own kind before. The berserker continues to demolish all the other Titans that are attacking him in groups, and Mikasa begins to realize that his fighting style is very familiar. Sauda looks closely at the fight and realizes that the Titan must be the main character. The berserker finishes off all the enemies and screams furiously. He notices the soldiers on the rooftop and runs towards the people. Everyone backs off in fear, except for Mikasa, who shouts out Eren's name. The Titan pauses for a moment, but proceeds to grab the girl and lifts her in the air. He stares at Mikasa and slowly begins to recognize the person in front of him. The main character regains his consciousness and begins to transform back as he falls to the ground. The body of the Titan starts evaporating away in the smokes, and Mikasa quickly rushes towards the neck with her swords. She cuts the neck open in a single strike and manages to extract Eren from the body. Surprisingly, the main character has grown back his limbs as everyone watches in amazement. The captain watches from afar and seems unsurprised at Eren's transformation, while the main character slowly regains his consciousness. So what do you guys think about this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you liked my video, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.